Welcome to day one of the challenge. In today's video, we're going to look at the layout of TCM Weaver and do a couple of single term searches, indications, and herbs. After you log in, this is the landing page you'll come to for TCM Weaver. This is our text view. This big area on the right is actually going to be your workspace. The left side, you can see the search bar, and then this area is what we call our preview area, where all your results will be. At the bottom, there are filters. These are all the different ways that you can filter your results. And within each layer, there are little submenus. So there are a lot of different ways you can filter here. Up at the top, you will see you can go from light mode to dark mode. So go ahead and use whichever mode you prefer for the challenge. And this icon takes you to graph view. It looks really similar to text view. You've got this big open workspace. This is where the graph is going to appear. We have our search bar with our preview area here, but it's a little different. Down on the left, these are the sliders that are going to control what you see on the graph. And this icon up on the right is where all of your filters are. Some are just for the graph, others are for the text that can appear over in the bar. And once again, click on each title and you've got a submenu below. And that closes it up. We're going to go back and start in text view. Let's start by doing a single indication search. We're going to use irritability as the term we're looking for. And you'll see below that tells you the number of results. We have 410 results. When you scroll down, you'll see there's a combination of herbs, Pauser, patterns, and there are even formulas, and then variations on formulas. Remember, I'm using the full TCM Weaver. If you're using the Itsy Bitsy Weaver, you're going to have limited results. Let's come down to filters. This is a bit big of a list to deal with. We're first going to start at layers. We're going to look for an herb. So we will click this once to select only the herbs, which you can see brings us to 89 results. Now let's say we didn't want to see any herbs. We would click it twice and then that would deselect the herbs. Third click clears it out so all the results come back up. We're going to select herbs and we're going to deselect Pauser. So we're going to double click Pauser. We still have 59 results. Let's see if we can narrow this down some. Let's come down to energetics. Let's say you're looking for a single herb, but you would like it to be a cool herb. We'll come and select for cool herbs. And now we're down to 15 results of cool herbs that can help with irritability. If we didn't want any cool herbs listed, we could deselect and then we'd have 44 results. Now, let's say you want to find either an herb that is neutral or cool. Instead of pressing both neutral and cool, that would come up with 0 results because then you're telling the Weaver that, well, I want an herb that is both neutral and cool, but we don't have those, any of those. So what you would do if you want to find a range of herbs is you would deselect the ones you don't want. So in this case, we would deselect hot, warm, and cold. And now we have a list of 18 herbs that are cool or neutral that can be used for irritability. To clear everything out and reset, you just come up and click the logo. Now we're going to search for a single herb. The single herbs have more than one word though, so we need to put any term that has more than one word to it in quotes. We're going to look for Swansauren. You can see that anywhere Swansauren appears, it's highlighted. This is your main entry, then this is some of the related information in that entry. And we could go down and we could go and filter and press herbs again. But in this case, just scrolling down, you can see that Swansauren is right here. So how do you get it onto the workspace if you want to see more information about it? You come over here and press this little arrow, and it brings it up. As you scroll through, you can see we have all of the standard information included. And then at the bottom, we have a notes area. In this area, you will find either some special notes or Pauser information or a Dwayao listing. In this case, you can see that a standard Dwayao with Swansauren is Baiziren. Let's scroll up to the top and look at our herb category. If you want to see what other herbs are in this category, just click this and it will bring it up to the right. And here is your list. And if you wanted, you can click through and find herbs off of those lists. When you're done looking at this, simply click that arrow and it removes it from the screen. We're going to head over to Graph View and see how Swansauren looks on the graph. So let's come over. As you'll see, this is up in our workspace. When you have something up in the workspace and you click the graph icon, that is what is going to appear on your graph workspace. So this is our node. All of the little nodes you can click on and hold and move them around. When you click it once, you'll see these three icons come up. The X removes it. This is the text view. This is how you can bring information up on this sidebar. It's the same entry that you saw in text view. And like in text view, you can click on the category, bring those herbs up, then click this arrow to get back to the herb listing. And this will bring you back to the results list. We're going to use wander mode. That's what this little double arrow icon is for. Click on that. And I know this looks kind of crazy, but this is all of the information that we have in TCM Weaver related to Swansauren. And to make things bigger and smaller, I'm using a mouse, so I'm just using the dial, scrolling it bigger and smaller. We're going to clear this up so it's not so overwhelming. We're going to come over here to our layers, and we're interested in looking at indications. Now, unlike text view, if I was to select this once, it removes the indications. So graph filters operate by removing information. What we want to see is the indication, and we're going to have to leave up the herb because otherwise it will get rid of Swansauren. And we're going to deselect all of this other information. Then we can close that out. Now we had to leave herbs up, and that Dwayao Baiziren is still related. So this is where you can come and exit out, and it is now off of your graph. And at this point, this is when you can either grab and move this whole graph around, or if you just kind of click in an open area, you can relocate the entire graph without changing it. You can click on each node and move it around. So let's say you want to put the deficiencies together, and maybe you want irritability and anxiety together. You can relocate all of these nodes. We'll look at how all these sliders work in a later video. So this is it for day 1. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you in day 2. By the way, This would be a great place to take a screenshot of our work to go post in Instagram. Let's do that. Remember, if you have a Mac, use Shift Command 4. I'm on a PC, so I have to use the Windows key Shift S. And I'm going to go ahead and use select a region, come and select a picture of this graph. And I have to do the extra step of saving it from my clipboard to the desktop, which I do up here. I'm going to head over to Instagram and create a post. Remember to tag at TCM Weaver, include hashtag TCM Weaver Challenge Spiderweb in your caption, and follow at Camwo Herbs to qualify for one of the gift cards.